It began as a whisper, an image that was never meant to be seen, an anomaly buried deep within the raw data of the James Webb Space Telescope. At first, only a handful of astronomers noticed the glitch in the spectrographic data. The pattern was too precise, too rhythmic, too artificial. It wasn't a cosmic dust flare. It wasn't a dying star. And it definitely wasn't a comet. It was something else, something cold, calculated, and terrifying. The object in question, 3I Atlas, was already known as an interstellar visitor that seemed to defy the usual expectations of physics. But this new leak, reportedly captured during a classified James Webb observation, threatened to change everything we thought we knew. If the data was accurate, then 3I Atlas wasn't just another mysterious traveler from deep space. It might actually be watching us. And now, for the first time, the truth was beginning to leak out. When 3I Atlas was first discovered, astronomers assumed it was simply another interstellar comet. After all, they had seen similar visitors before with Oumuamua and Borisov, strange objects from other star systems that briefly passed through our solar system before disappearing back into the darkness. But 3I Atlas immediately distinguished itself. It wasn't only its unusual trajectory or extraordinary speed that caught scientists' attention. It was the way it behaved. Unlike ordinary comets, which develop a bright coma of water vapor and dust as they approach the sun, 3I Atlas stubbornly refused to follow the expected pattern. There was no coma, no tail, and no detectable water. Instead, it emitted large amounts of carbon dioxide while remaining eerily silent in every other spectrographic measurement. NASA directed the powerful infrared spectrometer aboard the SPHELX observatory toward the object, expecting to confirm the presence of water or carbon monoxide, two gases almost always found in comets. But the results were astonishing. There was only carbon dioxide. No water. No carbon monoxide. It was a chemical signature unlike anything ever recorded in the history of space observation. What kind of object emits only carbon dioxide? The answer was deeply unsettling, none that scientists currently know of. Not even the strangest comets in our own solar system behaved this way. If it wasn't acting like a comet, and it wasn't behaving like an asteroid, then what exactly was it? As public interest continued to grow, NASA remained unusually quiet. Behind closed doors, however, a far more powerful telescope had already been directed toward 3I Atlas. The James Webb Space Telescope, famous for its unprecedented resolution and spectrographic capabilities, was reportedly assigned to observe the object on August 6, 2025. No images were released. No press conference followed. There was only silence. But according to a leaked report from an internal NASA analyst, Webb may have captured something extraordinary, an object with no natural coma, yet surrounded by a perfectly symmetrical carbon dioxide halo stretching hundreds of thousands of kilometers into space. Even stranger, the infrared observations reportedly revealed an unusual source of brightness originating not from reflected sunlight, but from within the object itself. Was 3I Atlas producing artificial light? According to the leaked spectrographic analysis, the emissions resembled engineered photonic systems, the kind of structured light patterns commonly associated with telecommunications or data transmission. The wavelengths were not random. They repeated in organized sequences, almost like a cosmic version of Morse code. As if that weren't extraordinary enough, the object was also estimated to be 46 kilometers in diameter, far larger than any previously known interstellar object and statistically too large to be considered an ordinary random visitor. For a rock of that size to enter our solar system from interstellar space would suggest one of two possibilities. Either our understanding of the universe is fundamentally incomplete, or this object arrived here intentionally. Perhaps the most unsettling revelation wasn't the object's enormous size, its unusual chemistry, or its mysterious emissions. It was the path it followed. Unlike Oumuamua, which entered the solar system on a chaotic hyperbolic trajectory, 3I Atlas arrived almost perfectly aligned with the orbital plane of the planets. Scientists estimated that such a trajectory had only about a 1 in 500 chance of occurring naturally. In other words, it appeared to move through the solar system almost like a drone following a carefully planned flight path. It passed near multiple planets, including Earth, before continuing deeper into the solar system. AVI Lub, The controversial Harvard astrophysicist who gained worldwide attention for suggesting that Oumuamua could have been artificial, described the trajectory as technologically suggestive. He argued that the object's approach angle was not only remarkably precise, but also ideally positioned for observation by both Earth-based and orbital telescopes, as though it wanted to be seen, but not fully understood. Even more intriguing was the claim that the object's incoming direction traced back toward the constellation Sagittarius, the same general region of the sky associated with the famous WOW signal detected in 1977. That mysterious radio signal remains one of the most intriguing candidates for a possible artificial transmission from deep space. So consider the coincidence. What are the chances that the most enigmatic object ever observed in our solar system would appear to come from the very same region? As speculation intensified, a new theory began to emerge. It wasn't rooted in science fiction, but in engineering. What if 3Io Atlas wasn't a comet or an asteroid at all? What if it was a technologically enhanced object,